Thereafter, we are going to continue with the program. The Kenya Prison Service Choir kindly.
The prisons industry is such a blessing to this country because you make wonderful furniture. The mechanical garages in Kamiti, they are good, but we don't make much out of it because of the marketing component. Let us inject private people to come and work with the officers to help them in marketing and managing it into a profitable business. These officers here are good at correcting people. They are not good in marketing. They are not good in business. Let us not give them work that is not theirs. Let them produce the best furniture. Let us get some other characters from the private sector to market them and also to organize their accounts. And I can tell you, the prisons industry can be the most successful industry in this country because, one, the profits are huge because the labor is free. And there is no rent. So we are just talking of the raw materials only, isn't it? So let us think around that space. PS, I'll also give you my thoughts of what I think we can do so that we create a revolving fund and we make prisons self-sustaining. The prisons farms, there is no reason why our penal institutions should not produce enough food for consumption by the inmates. We shouldn't be buying food because the people are there. The land is there. We just need to inject some professionalism in managing those farms into profitable farms so that we can feed the inmates, feed the officers, and sell the surplus to enlarge our ANA. I want to encourage you, good people, that God has given you a role to take care of the deviants in society. And those inmates who come to you, both petty offenders, serious offenders, those who are committed for life, are in your hands to mentor them, to correct them, and to give them another chance. And it's your responsibility. And it's a God-given responsibility. It's a calling. It's a difficult job to transform people of deviant character and model them into responsible citizens. Is really a very huge responsibility in your hands. And I want to encourage you to continue assisting those members of societies to become better people. We want to call upon the judicial system to apply their discretion and avoid non-custodial sentences where it's inappropriate, because it causes congestion in our penal institutions. We have too many inmates, and they are not staying in a hygienic manner, and it overstretches our resources. Again, this is a conversation that we need to have within our criminal justice system. The threshold for custodial sentences. Let's try as much as possible to avoid custodial sentences where the crimes are not that heavy. In misdemeanors, we should avoid. Even where people cannot raise fines, we should be able to commit them to go and do communal work, so that then they go back home and they eat from home, so that they don't overstretch the scarce resources that we have as a country. We need to relook at this whole thing of certificate of good conduct. Because we have many people, petty offenders. young people who have really done nothing really very serious, but they have offended the penal code, and they are convicted, and then they have a record. From there, they are committed to a useless life because they cannot get a certificate of good conduct, and they cannot get employment. I think it's something we need to discuss within the criminal justice system and our members of parliament. We must let people to be good people after they serve their sentence. Because that's why the law sets a term. It says 7 years. After 7 years, you'd be free to be another Kenyan, isn't it? I don't think that thing would go well with the corrective services. You correct somebody, then you condemn him into joblessness because he cannot get anywhere because he has a record. What I know and what I think is just supposed to be a record for the purposes of future prosecutions, for the purposes of analyzing who you are. But the fact that you have a criminal record should not condemn you to poverty and a hopeless and useless life. I think we need to relook where people have reformed and they have been corrected, and they are issued a good certificate from the correctional facility. That should be able to cancel the other record so that you can begin afresh.